So apparently Sneako and Myron had a debate with Martyn. The fact that Sneako's been able to hang on this long is actually crazy. It really is. The fact that this man is hanging on for dear life and not one single muscle in his forearms has ripped asunder is crazy. This man has held on. And to be fair to Myron and Fresh, those two have been incredibly loyal to Sneako. Like, Sneako should have been long gone, generally speaking. Like, in this industry, after being banned from every possible platform, Sneako should have been gone a long time ago. But this man still remains, he's still standing, which is actually crazy. Like, the fact that Sneako's actually still in the game to this day is still insane in and of itself.
No, I can't. Bro, I can't do that.
Rolling with me with the wave cap on?
Bro, they'll go hard on me, dude. They like that. They like the spicy. Yeah, you guys.
Wait, is Bradley saying he wouldn't be allowed to put on a do-rag? That's not true. You could put on a do-rag if you're white. What's that little white boy's name? Lil AG's? Hold up. You could wear a do-rag as a white person. What's that little boy? He probably got bigger now.
All right, tell us who you are.
Yo, Bo, we outshot them, Lil AGs. Come on, man. If you don't know about me, I'm a rapper. Your rapper, favorite trapper, favorite rapper.
What are you looking for in the perfect female?
Nah, I know the realest nigga to ever wear a do-rag. Hold up. I know the realest. Oh, you didn't know the little kid was white, Cam? Bro, he's white, bro. Yes, bro, he's white, bro. Yes, bro, that man is white. Yeah, he's white, bro. He's been white the whole time.
Come on, perfect personality, pretty, but a fat ass too, respectfully. Who's your celebrity crush?
Jennifer Aniston, baby.
Come on, she fire, I ain't gonna lie.
You top 10, man.
He's the realest nigga to ever wear a do-rag.
What's up, Holmes? What up, G?
Yes. This is the realest nigga to ever wear a do-rag by far, bro.
That's tremendous. Excuse me while I whip this out.
The realest nigga to ever wear a do-rag for sure.
Nice touch, huh?
You gotta think of the magic colors.
No.
He's down. Bro, come on, bro. Like, don't act like this ain't the realest nigga to ever do it. Come on, bro. Like,
What's up, boss? How you doing?
Yeah. What's good in the hood?
Just hold it down, trying to take care of business.
Keep it up. I'm a nigga.
this is... Yo! Yo, I'm trying this, bro.
He didn't just say that.
Vince McMahon is the realest white man to ever wear a do-rag in life, bro.
Well, our Instagrams we got wiped at the same time.
Yeah.
Instagram was a big one, yeah.
Us and Jackson Hinkle.
Yeah, we all got wiped the same day. Fresh, too.
Do you think they're just like, they just go, these accounts, get rid of them? And who's they?
You really want to go there?
You really want to go there?
We can go there.
I mean, I'll dance around it. It's the same people that you call.
Nah, I don't really watch. Like, I watch Myron and Sneako, but I don't fuck with their content. I just, you know, I'm a student of the game now. I'm trying to actually be a real student of the game. So I be watching these niggas, but like, I'm not over there like a real fan. Like, I'm not really over there like, you know, waiting on the next album and shit. Like, you know.
On that pedophile stream with.
Oh my god, that's not dancing around it. Oh, that's not dancing around it. Oh man.
Just Google the head of Instagram.
Damn.
Adam Asari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is.
They automatically start the conversation with a joke about Jewish people. That's crazy. But is this part of it? This be part of the reason why Sneako be banned everywhere? Like, bruh. It's that, Kanye did so much damage with one tweet. It's crazy. Like this nigga Kanye's grabbed his phone, bro, and tweeted, bro. It was over.
It'd be tough, but it's like I gotta have this conversation. You guys, did you on this? It's so hard. Why is this a thing? Why is this have to feel like it's a thing that you can't discuss openly? Like that's what's so frustrating about it.
Well, if you want your YouTube, then you can't. Tim Pool is having that problem right now. Like he wants to have certain people on, but he knows that if he talks about that, then he's gonna get demonetized like Fresh and Fit. Like they make an example. That happened to me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Same thing with PBD. He wants to speak about this as well, PBD has a really successful podcast.
Yeah, but they're definitely damaged, bro. But it's also the fact that, like, when you get to a certain level of clout, bro, the kind of women that you're going to be talking to are not good women. Like, bro, like, these dudes be meeting girls off social media. These dudes be meeting girls at the club. Like, bro, the kind of woman you need, especially as a rich, famous, rich, ironically, you're not going to find them at the club, bro. They're going to be at, like, the library or church or something. Like, you need you a real woman of God if you're gonna be a famous, successful, like, you gotta have you a woman of virtue, bro. Like, and the problem is these niggas don't even believe there are good women out there, which, you know, I mean, I don't know how to help these guys. I really don't.
Podcast employs a lot of people, but it's just like he's kind of stuck. You know, if he talks about this, he's gonna not be able to employ all these people. So
yeah, it's such a weird thing, man.
Yeah, when I'm on other people's platforms, I'm careful. You know what I mean? I don't want to put them in weird spots. So I always kind of like just feel them out. If they're like iffy about it, I just stay away because you know, I don't want to mess anybody up. I don't want to mess anyone's platform up.
Yeah, I get it.
So
it's kind of weird though. It's just weird that, like, overall, it just seems like there's, I guess, less free speech that's okayed and some that's more okay than others.
That's why I love Rumble, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about all this stuff on Rumble, but like, yeah, on certain platforms, you can't do it, man. So, unfortunately,
raw talk on Rumble,
bro. It's like, so imagine I did that, right? Would that then just, they would just see that content and be like, oh, then remove him here?
That's possible.
It's possible. It's always a risk. If it goes like super viral.
Yeah.
You know, because this is how they get around it in America. So like in other places, right, that don't have the same free speech protection that we have with the First Amendment, the government will just send you a letter. Hey, this person is on your platform doing X, Y, Z. They don't care. But in America, what they do is you got like lobbying organizations like the ADL, Media Matters, etc., and they just write an article on you, and they'll like lobby to the platform like, hey, are you aware that this individual is monetizing on your platform and they're putting out such and such rhetoric? And then that puts pressure on them, and they're like, oh my God. And then they'll, like, you know, threaten to pull advertisers or whatever, and that's how they control social media and these platforms in the United States. Like, they can't overtly do it because of First Amendment rights, but they do it through lobbying companies. And then at the end of the day, it's private companies, so they can go ahead and do what they want anyway. But they have that added layer of protection through these media organizations that are saying that they're trying to restrict hate speech or restrict any type of speech that might go against a certain agenda.
Yeah. It's funny.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a free speech nigga, full stop. Like, I believe in free speech. I believe everybody should have a platform. I just don't agree with everybody. And I also believe companies reserve the right to ban. It depends on I don't think, it really depends on what you say. Like, if you start calling for violence, you gotta go. But I think people should be allowed to share their opinion on Twitter and on YouTube and stuff like that. I am a free speech guy. But when you start calling for people to get hurt and for people to, when you start really trying to stir up, you know, destruction and hatred, there's gotta be a limit. There has to be. But as a YouTuber, I'm always going to be a more pro-free speech kind of guy. So as we start off here, like Sneako and Myron, I'm agreeing with them on the free speech part. I agree with them on the free speech part, you know.
Myron says that when he goes on other platforms, then he doesn't, like, he feels it out to make sure. The one place
they call them stink me.
Like, the true Myron is on my stream.
What up,
That's what Media Matters is.
People are touchy about it, dude. So I'm like, I don't want to put people in weird situations. So like, I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna, you know, how base can we get here? So,
do you think it's all necessary though? Like what you guys do? Sometimes you go a little hard.
Someone's got to do it. I mean, I think we opened up the Overton window.
Trey's 96 are your free speech absolutists. Bro, if you calling for violence, bro, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're calling for people to get hurt, you should not have a platform. But if you're saying, like, if you're just saying some mean, hateful shit, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, everybody needs to have, because it's like, it's a slippery slope where if one person loses their free speech, eventually you lose your free speech. And it's just, you never really know who's going to be next. The one line we can all draw is, look, no calls for violence, no calls for action against people of certain racial groups, religious groups, political groups. You know what I'm saying? But I think that on private platforms, certain private platforms, you should be able to ban people. But on certain platforms, no. So like Twitter, Elon Musk got Twitter now. So like people ain't really getting banned like that on Twitter with Elon and them. But before Elon was in control of Twitter, a lot of niggas got banned. And personally, I feel like on Twitter, they shouldn't ban people like that because because Twitter was where so much information is being shared that if you ban people, it's almost like taking away their First Amendment, to where it's basically where everyone's getting so much information. By banning certain people, you make it to where certain information can't be spread. So it's not complicated. It's just, I'm not an absolutist, but I do think that smaller companies should be able to ban you. Massive companies like Twitter, no. But if you're calling for violence, it really doesn't matter what platform you're on. YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, Vimeo. I'm not going to say the name of that website, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It don't matter what platform you use, and if you're over there calling for violence, you got to go.
A lot.
Yes.
Last year, we had a lot of conversations that were difficult, and now a lot of people are speaking about it. But we were the first ones to really do it on a level that big. So has to do it. We were speaking about this in the car right now. Like, we're really like the only ones dumb enough to really like sacrifice millions of dollars to have these conversations.
So here's where it gets really interesting, though. I don't agree. I don't think like, you are in a sense sacrificing something, but at the same time, there's a big benefit to be had to the sacrifice. So that's like, sometimes, like, you know, you guys will get on certain topics or certain things, and it's like, there's still a ton of money to be made when you are speaking, you know, just completely candidly and openly about stuff. And because there's a whole like, I was interviewing Don Lemon, for example. I did this like in New York.
You just got married to a man, right?
So I have no idea. I
Clown world.
I have no idea.
I saw the picture.
See, this is my problem, bro. And Myron brushing his waves wrong, but I ain't gonna lie, he got some nice waves. But like, bro, come on, you gotta brush it. You gotta go like this, like this. You see what I'm saying? Like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why they getting mad at Don Lemon. Is Myron black? I think Myron's black. Yeah, he's black. I think he might be a little bit mixed, but he's black. Yeah, Myron is black. He's East African. He's Sudanese or some shit. But like, see how these niggas can't even let Don Lemon marry a man without being like, did he marry a man? Like, y'all want to be able to say whatever y'all want, but niggas can't marry who they want. Pause. Pause. But like, y'all crying that y'all 5 seconds ago was talking about they banning niggas. But like, niggas can't marry who they want. Like this, I'll be like, the niggas that be crying about free speech the most, if they had the remote control to control the whole world, nobody would be free. Like, bro, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, be for real. Trey's 96 says not black like, yeah, I mean, he's not black like us. Like, he's not American black. Like, he's not, you know, he not like us. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? He not like us in this room, in this live stream. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's East African. He's a little bit Arab, something like that, but he's mostly black.
Man who's like making fun of
We didn't talk about that, but I was talking to him about like the censorship stuff in general and on Twitter, and how Twitter is just like Elon Musk, just like, it's kind of like whatever.
Oh yeah.
And
Lit.
and he feels like it should be more moderated.
Of course he does. Of
course.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting concept, because like when you say that, like, you know, we're sacrificing millions, but like, are you also not kind of just playing also into like a audience that is like really also tired of it, and they're supporting the shit out of you guys because you're doing it?
Well, the thing is that your reach is significantly stifled when you tell the truth, right? So like, the problem is that like big tech is run by typically liberals, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that conservatives don't censor as well. They definitely do.
Yeah.
But if you're going to look at who controls a majority of the censorship, it's absolutely the libs, right? Like, because they dominate the big tech. So at least like people say all the time, like, oh, Rumble's like a alt-right, conservative platform. But guess what? Like, there's liberals on there, and they're not restricted in speech. So like, at least like on the conservative side, they respect the First Amendment, and even though they might not agree with certain things, they at least respect your ability to say it. Versus like liberals, they'll be like, oh, this is hate speech, we want to restrict it, and that's just what it is. So like, it's not that there's people that don't agree and that you can't like be profitable, like being honest. 100% you can. The problem is that your reach is significantly limited, and they kick you off the platforms where you can reach those people.
Yeah.
So you can't even reach them because they have to find you on alternative websites where it's difficult. You know, thankfully we're still on YouTube, right? We got banned on Instagram, which kind of sucks. But let's be honest, Instagram isn't real.
Bro said Myron not like us. Oh my god, bro, y'all bringing this in here? I forgot about that song. I forgot. Now niggas can never say not like us without. Yo, that's crazy. Y'all bringing that craziness up in here.
Anyway, I've never looked at Instagram as real. Like, you know, who's on IG? Thoughts, you know.
Yeah, but everyone's on.
Bro, come on, bro. See, who says that? Who's really on IG? The thoughts? Yes, the baddies. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is the reason why, like, bro, like, getting banned off Instagram is a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? It's a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get banned off IG, and God, in Jesus' name, please protect me from getting banned from IG. But you get banned for how you going, bro? All the IG thoughts, but come, like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's the worst part about getting banned on Instagram, bro. Is if you rich and famous, and you get banned off Instagram, how you gonna get the baddies? I guess you could do like Twitter DMs, but like, damn though, like that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's actually foul. I ain't gonna lie. The Instagram ban is crazy.
It's a great networking tool.
It's like a networking tool. Like, I never considered Instagram as like a real like if you're like running a business off Instagram, like, right? And that's
Josh the Junkie says it's funny they whine about Instagram thoughts, but that's all they want to surround themselves. See, bro, this is one of the problems with these guys. Is like, as much as they complain about thoughts and whores and hoes and all these ain't shit women, the reality about these guys truly is these guys love those kinds of chicks. They do. When they go to the club, who do you think they're meeting? When they go to the bar, who are they meeting? When they're going to when Myron hosts these shows, he's not talking to good women. He's talking to Miami, you know, OF models and Instagram models. Like, these are not marriage material women. So it is interesting that these guys, you know, complain about, you know, how these thoughts and these hoes ain't shit, but like, these dudes surround themselves with those kind of women. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like they're not Drake. They're not Drake. They're not in such a position of fame where they can't even go to a library without everybody being like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Drake could never go to a wholesome establishment and not get mobbed. These dudes could if they wanted to. They're still reasonably famous to the point where they could still carry out some normal day-to-day tasks in their lives and not have to worry about, like, not being able to find a decent woman. So that is a good point. Like, these dudes, as much as they complain about how bitches ain't shit, they for sure do love to collect bitches that ain't shit.
Crazy whenever their account goes down. But, like, you know, I think for, like, networking, putting your brand out there, marketing, cool. But, like building a real business off of IG, I think is a serious
I built my
problem.
whole business off of IG.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
You could sell a lot.
Bro, but see, here's the thing, though. You do, like, here's the thing. I would rather be on YouTube than IG, 100%, because you build a connection with your audience. They get to see you, they get to hear you, etc. You're not able to connect with your audience to the same level. What Instagram does is it amplifies a platform you've already built up on YouTube, and those people that are following you on Instagram probably found you through YouTube first and liked you there. So, like, yeah, of course you could build a business on Instagram. Let me clarify. You could build a business there. However, that's not your primary platform. People loved you and knew you from YouTube, and then they followed you on Instagram because you happened to be there.
Brad's not just talking about building an audience connection. He's talking about selling products.
Of course, but yeah.
Okay, we're skipping to the ideology shit. Let's get to the real because they doing content creator stuff, and that's cool. But y'all ain't content creators, so I'm not gonna bore y'all with that. I'll watch this on my own time. Let's get to the real shit.
But people are waking up, dude.
Do you guys ever think you go too far?
No. I think you only go too far when you start advocating for violence. Like, if you're going to
that's a problem. That's never good.
Yeah, that's
Bro, what is going on with Bradley's video, bro? Who edited this? Satan?
For viilence. Like, if you're going to
Bro, what's going on with these black screens? What's going on, bro? Who's editing Bradley's video? But these niggas, hey, bro, hey, look, bro.
Problem. That's never good.
Yeah, that's never good. Other than that, when it comes to, I don't think there's any limitations on free speech.
And I've been open about this. Like, I've told people, like, dude, if you're ripping down posters of, like, innocent Israelis that were kidnapped, like, you're a piece of what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can support, right, you know, you could be against the genocide and still have empathy for the people that were kidnapped, because at the end of the day, innocent people are innocent people, and there's never an acceptable parameter to condone violence against civilians ever. So, you know, when I see these people ripping down posters of the Israelis that were kidnapped, I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Stupid.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It just like, I don't know, man. It's just such a weird. It's a weird time and to be in the space of like talking and this whole like even having a podcast and just feeling like you just can't fully say how you feel without feeling like you're going to be attacked.
Yeah,
It's
and
insane.
my thing is this: I'm aware of the stark differences between men and women, and I point them out. And people refer to that as hate. However, if you really listen to what I say, right, versus what detractors say about me all the time, I think women need to be protected. I think they need to be provided for. I think they need to be taken care of. And I accept that there's just inherent gender differences and we're not the same. And since we are not the same, that means that there's different treatment that needs to be given to each gender. So no one criticizes me when I say we need to protect and provide for our women, etc. But then they'll get mad at me when I say, well, women aren't leaders. It's like, well, you got to pick one. So do you want me to be a gentleman and take care of you and give you these chivalrous traits, etc., and be a gentleman? Or do you want feminism? Because if you want feminism, guess what? We're equal. We're splitting this bill down the middle. We do everything down the middle. And the issue is that the problem with feminism is that it doesn't align with biological reality, right? Like what's politically correct and what's real are two different things. Like,
okay, the problem with Myron is like, it's possible for a woman to be a leader. We know that there are women CEOs. We know that there are women managers. We know that women can lead. It's very possible for women to lead. I've seen it happen before. It's possible. I think that there are scenarios where women can lead. There are scenarios where women can't lead. Most women would probably prefer if their man took the lead. But like when Myron says stuff like men are smarter than women, men are faster than women, men are stronger than women. These are true things in terms of, you know, speed and strength. But it's the way you say stuff. It's like when you sit there and say like men. Although some of it is true, it's also how you say something. How you say something oftentimes conveys how you really feel more so than what's being said. So I will give Myron credit. He does say that women should be protected and blah, blah, blah. However, these are the same dudes that sit there and say men should have sex with 50 different women. You know, men should have multiple wives. Women can't do this. Women can't do that. Like, bro, come on. Like, y'all aren't just talking about protecting and providing for a woman. Now, I will say this. If you're a woman and you want your man to be a leader and blah, 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 and pay for this and pay for that, you do need to give your man room to lead, right? Like, I see women talking about, how could I ever submit to a man that don't do this and don't do that? That's cool, but prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for that man. Because when you meet that dude who really is about to pay all these bills and take care of this and take care of that, and you won't listen to, you don't follow no kind of rules, no plan, no nothing. You just going solo and tilted towers every time a problem come up in the relationship. Of course he finna break up with you. Of course you getting divorced. So there's got to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like there's got to be like some kind of reasonable, conclusion here. Brian St. Pierre says, you notice they only say the most sanitized stuff on these channels. Yeah, they be wilding on Rumble. Didn't he say that men shouldn't live with their wives because it will make you weak? You should live with other men to keep you in check, to keep you in check and keep the kids and the women separate. Bro, they be saying a lot of gay stuff, bro. I don't know, Cam. I don't know if you know, but they be saying Myron said that men should live with other men instead of their wife and kids, bro. Let me tell y'all something about the Tate brothers, bro. People look at Andrew and Tristan Tate and want to be them two niggas so bad. Let them two be them. You go live your life. Stop trying to be Andrew Tate. Like, stop trying to be Andrew Tate. Cam said, nah, bro, gay. Cam, let me show you. Bruh. Yo, I just like, these niggas want to be Andrew Tate so bad, bro. And it's like, bro, y'all ain't Andrew Tate. You're not Andrew Tate. Y'all ain't never gonna be Andrew Tate. So because Andrew Tate lives with his brother and his cousin, all men should live with other men. I'm good on that. If I'm a man and I got a wife and kids, I'm living with my wife and kids. I'm never like, bruh, imagine being a grown ass man with a family. And instead of you waking up in the morning to make sure the kids got breakfast in their stomach, to make sure that they got everything. Like, imagine it's the weekend and your kids wake up on a Saturday morning and you know where to be seen in the crib. Bruh, are we grown ass men talking about this shit? Like, like boys being boys. Like, bro, like what? Like, what's wrong with, like, bruh, I could never imagine like my kids going to like Like, imagine your kids need help with homework and you not around because you busy hanging around with niggas. Like, I don't understand it, bro. It can never be me, bro. Like, I'm not, you a whole grown man. A grown man, bro. You a grown man. And instead of you being around your kids, instead of you being around your family, you steady hanging out with dudes? Ain't nothing wrong with hanging out with dudes. I'm just saying, like, you could be over there watching cartoons with the kids, feeding them breakfast, helping them with the homework, helping them, master a skill. You could be, spending time with your wife, talking about life, encouraging each other. What black people say, speaking life into each other. And instead, you somewhere doing God knows what with dudes. Bro, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like these red pill niggas just gotta chill. Like, they gotta, like, ain't nothing wrong with acquiring penis. I'm just saying, like, if you're saying that you're a straight male, and you saying that you got a wife and kids, be around your wife and kids. Like, ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but if you're not gay, like, bro, you should probably be around your wife and kids.
Feminists will sit there and tell you. I remember this video went viral. This LA chick, she talked about how she went out with a guy that like paid the bill and took her on a real date and planned everything out, and how she was so attracted and aroused by it, versus other guys that she's met with in LA where, they're splitting bills down the middle or whatever.
I've seen this.
And it just goes to show, like, your hard wiring is your hard wiring, regardless of your political ideologies or whatever, right? Biology always trumps what's in what you think you know. So and I've always said attraction isn't a choice. So the reality is women are attracted to whole misogynistic guys, as they would define, that align with gender norms and gender roles. So that's what
I don't think you got to be an asshole or misogynistic. You just don't be a pushover. Like, you don't have to be mean to attract women. Just don't be over there like following them around like a puppy. That's it. It's not that complicated. Like, when dudes sit there and say, oh, I got to be an asshole. You don't have to be an asshole. Just stop being so desperate. Like, you got to be able to realize and recognize when a woman don't like you. There's no asshole card. This ain't Pokemon. If you pull the asshole card, you get like, no, this ain't Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't get 5 extra HP, X amount of XP. No, she don't like you. The end. There's no amount of dickhead tactics. There's no amount of asshole strategy that can be used to make her like you. You also don't need to be a misogynist. You don't have to hate women either. You know what I'm saying? Like, women don't want a white knight simp. They don't want a dude. Can I say simp on YouTube? I don't know. Women don't want a dude who's bending over backwards for the entire female species, and they don't want a dude who's overly nice to them. But when dudes be like, one of my issues with the red pill niggas is they always be saying like, oh, women love a misogynist asshole. No. First and foremost, if a woman is tolerating a misogynist asshole, it's probably because he's really attractive, and she probably has a really hard time separating herself from toxic people, which means you really don't even want to be with her. You don't gotta be misogynistic. You don't gotta be an asshole. Just don't be a little bitch. Like, there's a balance here. But what happens is these young dudes be watching Myron and they hear this stuff like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be an asshole, or I gotta be this, or I gotta be that. You really don't. Like, you really don't have to be any of those things to get women. But young dudes hear what Myron be saying and they be getting led astray.
So I just acknowledge this, and I tell men to be men and be leaders, and don't put your girl in a leadership role. And then people say I'm a misogynist for that. But then when I say women shouldn't work and men should provide for them, and she should have the ability to work electively, they're like, oh, that's awesome. I agree with that. So they pick and choose the gender roles that I talk about.
That's why you think that you don't actually hate women. That's
of course not, dude. If I'm over here saying like you should be willing to die for your girl and protect and provide for her, what does that mean? That means
I feel like from an outside perspective, because obviously I don't watch all of your content like word for word.
Of course,
I could understand though why like people have this image of you, because you see the clips of you being like, "Shut up, you stupid,"
It's
Yeah,
clipped out of
yeah, yeah,
context.
yeah.
A lot of the time they don't show the buildup where she's like nagging and she's saying insulting things and she's interrupting and she's yelling for a lot of time because that's what's going to go viral. You can't clip an hour of the podcast, right? So it goes all right to the buildup, right to the execution where she has to get kicked out of the podcast. But they don't see all. If they actually saw how disruptive and how rude a lot of these girls are, they'd be like, yeah, I'd probably be losing my hair too if I was these girls 7 days a week.
So another thing too, like people don't know, right? So we do our daytime show and then our nighttime. You know, because you've been around.
Yeah.
We do our daytime show where we, talk about making money on Money Mondays or how to date on Wednesdays or call-in show, whatever it may be. Then we do the show with the girls. The stuff that goes viral is the stuff with the girls. But like just like Sneako said, we've been debating for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and these girls get like.
Josh the Junkie said I used to have this problem. Folks just get confidence and assholes confused. You know what it is, bro? Is like dudes oftentimes just have a hard time accepting that she doesn't like them. And what a lot of dudes have a hard time like accepting the fact that, hey, she don't like you, she don't find you attractive. There's no secret. Y'all ever played them little Naruto games or the Dragon Ball Z games where you just like when the opponent got a certain low amount of health, you could press the button and use a finishing move? Ain't no finishing move, bro. If she don't like you, it's over with, bro. Like ain't no like button you could press on the joystick to end the fight. You're done. So what happens is a lot of dudes are like, what went wrong? Why didn't she like me? Oh, you were too nice. It's a mixture of stuff. You were too nice and she don't find you attractive. And sometimes if you're too nice the first time, women oftentimes will just never find you attractive ever again. That's the weird thing about women. Like, as dudes, if a chick is fine, she fine. Like, we're never going to stop thinking they're fine. It's just never going to happen. But with women, like, a meh first impression or like a little bit of a bad first impression, you're done. You're done. So, a lot of dudes just forget, like, bro, like, ain't nothing you can really do. Take it on the chin. It is what it is. But a lot of dudes, they got, a little bit of confusion. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of confusion. So they think that if they just, act a little different, she'll like them. But, part of the process is realizing, part of the process with women is being able to take an L. If you can take an L with women, you'll eventually take a W. But if you can't take those hits, if you can't, bust your head up a little bit, you're going to be in a bad spot. Vast Stampede says, define what's in the behaviors is too nice. Being too complimentary all the time, that's for sure one. Constantly, like, texting them all the time. Being around a lot. Being around a lot's a big thing. Sometimes even, this is going to sound crazy, but it's unfortunately true. If you open the door, pull out the chair, all type of stuff like that, you got to like pick one. You got to pick like, which one am I going to do? And I know this sounds crazy, but fellas, it's not my fault. I don't make the rules. If you want to complain to the female front desk, go feel free, but I don't run the show. If you open the door and pull out the chair, a lot of chicks ain't going to like that. If she talking crazy to you or she's talking a little slick and you don't put it, you don't say nothing, you just sit there and you just take any little slick comment she makes, you're too nice. If she could just ask you to do anything or demand that you do anything and you never put your foot down, you're being too nice. Basically, if you don't have boundaries and you're also really clingy, it's over for you. You know what I'm saying? Luckily though, most guys aren't too nice at all. That's really not the issue with most guys. The issue with most guys is just most of these chicks just like, they got higher standards. Most dudes don't meet those standards. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't even say most dudes are too nice. Just don't be a doormat and just don't be like a tool. Don't be a tool in a box she can pull out and do anything with. Have boundaries, have lines, make it clear what is or isn't okay. And I'd say the ultimate thing with women, bro, is be ready to lose her. Be ready to lose your girl. Don't go into the relationship like, oh, she's going to leave me. But be prepared for her to probably have a demand or some kind of expectation that you can't meet reasonably. And, be prepared to say, hey, look, we have some differences in lifestyle or opinion that, is not going to make this relationship work. It is what it is. You go separate ways. That's how you avoid being too nice, is boundaries. And not being a fucking tool, not being somebody who just does anything because she asks you to, spending a boatload of money on her just because. You gotta have backbone and standards and boundaries. But you also gotta be able to realize there are some women out here that are, dating is it's like chess, bro. Like there are some women where if you open the door and pull out the chair, he's kind of too nice. Some of these chicks are crazy. You just got to be able to realize when you're being reasonable and when someone's being unreasonable. That way you know when to pull out. Because there are some women where if you're a gentleman, it bothers them. I don't know what it is. There are some women out there where if you are a gentleman, it bothers them. Don't overanalyze it. If you know that you didn't do anything wrong and you were a gentleman and she still left you, call it a day. Don't get bent out of shape about that. There's nothing you can do about that. Just leave it alone. Let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it is a mental game. Vash Stampede says only that works. I think the issue is when people say be confident. Confidence is a set of behaviors more than just confidence. The set of behaviors comes from the confidence. Like you have to be comfortable with yourself in order to behave like someone who's confident. You can act confident, but there are aspects to interacting with women where if you aren't really confident, if you aren't truly confident in yourself, it'll show. So the confidence comes first, then the actions. You can play pretend, but eventually the pretending time, it runs out. Just trust the process, bro. Like a lot of guys are always looking for the proper fucking like starter kit to success with women. And the reality is it's a process, G. Trey says fatherless girl. Yeah, it's a lot of chicks out there with trauma, bro. And you got to be able to realize and recognize when you can't win. No matter how pretty she is, no matter how fine she is, you got to realize when there's people people in general with unresolved trauma, you got to let them go. You can't win every battle. You can't keep every person. Some people are just lost souls. Some people are just lost souls. Vash says, what is confidence if not a set of outward behaviors? Confidence is not just a set of outward behaviors. Like, have you ever competed in a sport where it's like one-on-one? Like, you gotta, like, confidence is very like, you can feel confidence in someone. It's sometimes it's not even outward. Sometimes it's not even sometimes. It literally is an outward manifestation of an inward state of mind. So when you're confident, the outward behaviors are a reflection of how you feel. Are you going to be shaking or quaking with a girl if you feel confident? No. The lack of shaking and quaking isn't just an action in and of itself. It's a result of how you feel mentally. And oftentimes, that mental feeling is built from having been in situations where you were scared or you were nervous with a woman, right? Confidence is a mixture of an inward mind state reflected with outward behaviors, you know? So it's one of those things where it's like, don't overcomplicate it too much. A lot of this stuff, it's really simple. It's just in life, pieces don't fit every single puzzle in life, if that makes sense. Like sometimes confidence isn't enough. Sometimes someone just doesn't find you attractive. You gotta know when to you gotta be comfortable enough with yourself to know when, you've done enough. That's a really important part of dating women is knowing when, like, bro, you've done, really dating in general. It's just knowing when you've done all you can do and you got to be comfortable and at peace with yourself to walk away knowing you're still who you are. But, if you're stressing over every little minute detail or stuff like that, it will not only hamper you, but also your relationships. Cam says, man, just be you. That's all you can do. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to be confident, you want to be fit, you want to be all these things, but you also got to be able to realize when to hang it up with a certain person. You got to be able to realize when you've done everything you could do and it's not enough, and that's fine. There's someone out there who it will be enough for, but that ain't the person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the person that you're talking to at that moment isn't the one. You got to be able to realize and recognize when you're out of options. You know what I'm saying? Cam says the puzzle piece don't fit. Think of it as dodging a bullet, but as long as you're being true to you, what more can you do? Exactly, bro. Like, don't self-destruct trying to get these females, or anyone for that matter. But, we're talking in the context of men dating women. But yeah, don't self-destruct, bro. Be confident, be fit, be in shape, get a job, do whatever it is you got to do. But, like, don't self-destruct looking for the perfect angle to get a woman, bro. Unfortunately, you ain't going to catch them all.
Really rambunctious. Remember, I'm dealing with, like, models, OnlyFans girls that are hot, girls that have never been told no in their life. So they're very pretentious.
He admits they deal with OnlyFans girls. They deal with super, like, bruh. dudes got to realize and recognize, bro, fresh and fit, they be talking to the, what's those creatures that be feeding off whales and shit in the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's those, like, bro, like, these dudes be talking to, like, the lowest women. Okay, let me be respectful. These dudes are talking to women who ain't wife material, bro. So when these dudes be talking about women ain't shit, bro said barnacle. Yeah, barnacles, bro. I was gonna say plankton. These dudes be talking to barnacle females, bro. These females, these women, you couldn't create no household, no family. You couldn't create no long lasting legacy with these women. And yet these dudes swear to God, they swear to everything. They swear to everything that these women represent all women ever. And it's just not true. But I'm glad that we could finally establish the fact that these dudes do select the most classless women possible to be the representation of all women.
So I'm like, I have to kind of like maintain order on the show. Like, hey, you know, she's talking, or hey, stop interrupting, whatever. And then they get mad. But then they click that part where I kick her out, but they don't show that hour and a half, 2 hours where we're just tolerating her. Yeah. Right. And a lot of times when I kick girls out, I ask the chat, what do y'all want? Give me a one if y'all want her gone. And it's just a bunch of ones and castle emojis. Of course. Right?
I mean, they always go for drama, dude. They always go for violence.
You know?
But there's a thing, there's a flip side to this that I've always wanted to ask you about, is like,
to be fair to Myron, I watched enough episodes. Like, some of these chicks are disrespectful. I'll be fair to Myron. I don't want to just criticize a man forever. There are some of these chicks that are disrespectful. And it just goes to show, like, bro, like, you don't want to be dating these kind of chicks. Imagine being on a podcast trying to build your platform and you over there arguing with the host. But come on, bro. Like,
goal was to make women, I don't know necessarily make women look better, but like to, you know how you talk about this OnlyFans, all this kind of shit. It's like, why not have girls that are
they
less
do come on
ratchet?
They do come on quite a bit, but that doesn't go viral. Like, there's been a lot of intellectual women, like college educated. You know, it's actually funny. A lot of the college educated, like, I have a bachelor's degree. Some of them are the dumbest. Like, they don't know how, they can't name how many countries there are. It's really sad. And that's not what gets clipped and shown around.
I can't name how many countries there are. Now, if you give me a map, I could point out quite a few of them. Like, if you give me a map and you say, oh, match this country here, I could probably do it. I could do a significant amount. But if you had me like name the amount of countries on Earth, I can't. I would have to look it up.
But I've been on a lot of shows where there's been educated panels, high IQ, stuff like that, good conversations.
We had a doctor on a couple weeks ago. You know, we had doctors, lawyers on, etc. The thing is that the stuff that gets clipped, it's always the ratchet, stupid chick. But
here's the thing though, like, why does a woman not knowing how many countries there are, how does that make them dumb? Like, I'm just now realizing, like, okay, she doesn't know how many countries there are on Earth. What is that even? What is these niggas? Like, bro, what are they talking about? Bro, like, okay, bro, come on, like, bro, that doesn't matter. Like, imagine the priest at the wedding saying, "Do you take this woman as your loving wife?" And you over there talking about, does she know every country though? Like, imagine they over there talking about some, does anyone have anything to say, forever hold your peace. But does she know every country on Earth though? Like, you over here like, bro, come on, bro. Like, really? You gonna crash everything out? You got a good woman, educated career, and you over there talking about something, but she don't know every country on the planet though. But that's some old head black man barbershop shit. like, come on, bro. Like, bro. Cameron said that's just him trying to build his high ground. That's facts, bro. Like, some of these dudes can't accept a woman that just knows something. Like, bro, like, don't y'all want a woman that know? Like, bro, what? But that'd be the reason why these dudes always be talking about dating some young chick. Y'all don't want a woman that knows something? Like, she's college educated. Okay, why does she need to know how many countries there are on Earth? That's not important. Can she bring money home to the family? If you get fired from your job, can she cover some of the bills for like a month or two as you try to get things together and figure out, what job you about to get next? If she could do that, it don't really matter how many countries she, like, bruh, are you trying to date the president? If you want a woman that knows how many countries there are on Earth, you might want to wife up Hillary. You might want to go see if Michelle might want to, but If that's not like y'all, come on, bro. Like really, bro. Y'all want Nikki Haley to be the wifey? Is that what y'all want? Talking about some she don't know how many countries there are on Earth. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Nice Million says the question is, can you name 3 countries excluding the US, Canada, and Mexico? Again, the kind of dudes the kind of women they bring on the show, these OF models and thoughts, of course they can't name countries outside of the US, Canada, and Mexico. Of course they can't. But I'm willing to bet these college educated women can. It's not hard. It's really not. Like a college educated woman can more than likely name 3 countries outside of the US, Canada, and Mexico. But you got to realize that kind of the majority of women that Myron and Fresh select for their show, they can't name these women can't name any countries outside of the US, America, and Mexico. And Cam says if she's competent enough to navigate the world in her career. That's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, I really feel like there's 2 people watching Fresh and Fit for real. It's young dudes that have never dated and old dudes who just everything went wrong for them. Like, if you're actually like talking to reasonable women, bruh, like, come on, like, bro, be for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, Vash says, I mean, not gonna lie, I don't know why being married to a neurosurgeon wife as a plumber, how is that not an accomplishment? It's strange how being uneducated is valued. These are the same dudes that be like, bruh, if I was rich, I would get me a random chick working at McDonald's. Would you? Would you? Because the more educated she is, the more likely she is to know how many countries there are, or countries outside of Canada, the US, and Mexico. Do you really want a woman that knows that stuff? Do you really want to, like, and if, like, you got to realize and recognize the kind of women that care about that, they're going to be nerds. I don't see a lot of nerds on Fresh and Fit show. Y'all got to find you a nerd. Y'all got to find you a little bit of a dork. You know what I'm saying? Which is good. Nerdy women are great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but it's like, dudes got to, like, do you want a woman that's college educated? Do you want a woman that knows how many countries there are on Earth? You got to realize the kind of woman you're looking for if you're trying to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was dating a woman that had a really good job, I'm not about to be over here complaining. Because I know if I die, my kid's going to be well taken care of. If something happened to me, mom going to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about whether she could point out Uruguay on a map. Honey, before I die, where's Uruguay? What the fuck? Bruh. Nice Million says they had a woman who was a doctor in a Scandinavian country. She was highly intelligent. No need to generalize their guests just to score points against them. Gee, I've literally just acknowledged that they have educated women on their show. In fact, we literally just played the clip. What they be saying in the barbershop? Reading and listening is fundamental. Like, bruh, we're not saying that Fresh and Fit don't bring on educated women. The problem is, even when they do, they ask educated women unrealistic questions. Like, how many countries are there? Sneako just said, how many countries are there in the world? As if the average college-educated person, male or female, knows the answer. Like, we gotta be real. Like, when we talk about this stuff, bro, we gotta be honest. Just because someone is male does not mean they know or understand the world. Okay? Furthermore, I'm about to say some sexist shit. Women, for the most part, aren't really into geopolitics and foreign policy. They're not concerned with how many countries there are globally. They're not concerned with how many countries are in the EU or NATO. They're not worried about that. If you want a woman that cares about politics, you're not going to find them in the Miami clubs, G. You got to go look somewhere else. I'm just saying that Fresh and Fit, they're doing a good job of showing how important it is to stay away from IG thoughts. But as it pertains to educated women, I think they need to be a little bit more graceful. Okay, she don't know where every country is on Earth. That's fine. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Fresh and Fit are demons from hell. I just think that there are some things they need to clarify with their audience, and a little bit of grace they could show the women on the show. Like, bro, you're bringing on thoughts. You're bringing on IG models, OF girls. They do not care about how many fucking planets there are in the solar system. I guarantee. Vash said, hey, 11 people, we moving up. Yep, hopefully we move up some more.
A 304, right? Yeah. That's a stripper or OnlyFans girls. That would get clipped. So people think, oh, that's all the girls they bring on. No. But people don't know that, like, it's a panel of like 7 to 10 girls, and a bunch of them in there are smart or educated. And here's the thing. The smart girls don't argue because they know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting because what people, if they don't watch all your content like word for word, then they just go, oh, he's just yelling at girls.
Yeah, they assume
so
that
you
I'm just the
look-
guy that like yells at chicks all day, and that's really not it. Because like we do have some very productive conversations. It's just that the stuff that gets clipped and goes viral is like me telling a girl, "Shut up," or "You're stupid," or "You're a bimbo," or "Get the f out of here." But they never saw the build up. They didn't see what led to it, and they just assume that I just hate girls. But the reality is like I genuinely believe that women need to be protected, and I understand biological differences between men and women. So I understand that as a man, you got to be the leader, you got to be the protector, you got to be the provider. But you know, they never show that because that's not sexy.
Nas Million says, how many countries there are is basic geography? How many countries there are on planet Earth is not basic geography? Are you fucking retarded? The kind of person that knows how many fucking countries there are on Earth is probably someone who cares about foreign policy and geopolitics. Are you fucking retarded? Are you dumb? The average person who gives a fuck about how many countries there are probably cares a lot about the affairs of planet Earth. The average person does not even know how Congress works, and they live in America. You think the average woman is gonna know basic geography, which according to you is how many countries there are on Earth? Gee, you gotta live in reality, bro. You need to live in reality. How many countries there are is not basic geography. The average person does not know.